work. Real slick.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here. A UDL security attendant is always prepared. Move along.
Burning the midnight oil, are we? The Halcyon Parcel Service's work is never done. Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service. Deliveries guaranteed within standard margins of accuracy. Halcyon Parcel Service is the most dependable parcel delivery service in the colony. You might even say we're part and parcel of Halcyon's commercial enterprise. That's just a little parcel joke. Nope, just parcels. We don't deal in packages. It's very technical. Halcyon Parcel Service strictly adheres to the standards and definitions of packaging as outlined by the Executive Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. We can ship all the parcels you want. But if I start shipping packages, I could get into some real trouble. Handcuffs and hard labor trouble.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day. I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore, my good man. I'd have to request a counter waiver, and you know how dreadful the paperwork is.
Don't I ever, my dear fellow? Why, I spent 3 hours filing a discussion authorization just to commence on...
Sorry, but we don't provide directions. Sorry, but we don't provide directions.
What do you think you're doing?
You made your point. Carry on then.
What do you think you're doing?
As you were.
Well, you're obviously not from around here. I don't believe I've ever seen visitors in the Bureau before, come to think of it. If you were from around here, you'd probably be off enjoying yourself in Prosperity Plaza, not poking around the Bureau. Alonso Vallejos. Extraordinarily pleased to make your acquaintance, and so on and so forth. I'm currently operating a sightseeing tour of sorts. Think of it as a guided journey across Halcyon. Would you be interested in a trial run? Glad you asked. Our tour guides you across some of the most picturesque and breathtaking sights around Halcyon. We've placed some beacons across a series of locations around Halcyon. All you have to do is follow the beacons to adventure. That slogan's a work in progress. So, what do you think? Are you interested? Well then, that just makes you the perfect test subject. If my guided tours can impress you, they'll impress anyone. Outstanding! Here, you'll need this special triangulating device. Think of it as a wireless compass, pointing the way to the next beacon. When you find a beacon, this device records your discovery and directs you to the next stop on your tour. Find every beacon, finish your tour, and come back here to claim your commemorative hat. Simple! Hey, welcome back.
Sorry, but we don't provide directions.
Great work.
Wish I could do that.
Hey, well...
Are you lost? Sorry, there's not a lot I can do for you. Welcome to the Bureau of Exploration. We're not currently offering any tours. Are you lost? Sorry.
My dear fellow, you've no idea how our production is.
I hear monarchs jumped up dissidents are running the planet.
Those wastrels in Emerald Vale. Today's trends are tomorrow's trash.
Well, you're getting an early start on the day's parcels, aren't you? How may I be of assistance?
A UDL security attendant is always.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
You have a rather exotic presence. A new antique.
Today's trends are tomorrow's trash. I hear monarchs jumped up.
As you were.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Move along.
Hey, that's illegal.
How does this sound? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk into you like that. Oh my goodness! Ruth Bellamy? I simply adore your work.
We've been over this already. You can't rehearse running into Ruth Bellamy. It's not going to work.
Fine, fine. What about this? Oh, my stars! It's Halcyon Helen? May I have your autograph?
Now you just sound like a crazed fan, which I suppose is not far from the truth.
Move along. As you were.
Hmm? I think we can both agree that Maverick Johnston is the finest director in Halcyon.
I agree with that. But only because Halcyon's aetherwave industry is sorely lacking in sophisticated directors.
Oh, for law's sake. What about All My Colonists? Johnston directed that.
Johnston did not direct All My Colonists. His name was tacked on, much like his endings. For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left. For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left. For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
We're not gonna do this, are we? Promise me.
My cousin did pictures. That business makes piracy look civil.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural. No, don't question yourself. Just feel the scene and go with it. I got a feeling you'll know what to do. We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And 'cause Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen. Don't think it, just act. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler. are ours. With their patented stomach stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable. They are? What an unexpected twist! You may have fooled me for now, but not for long.
Are we on camera now? Because I really don't care to be.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axajak, staring one another down across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us. Hey, I didn't write this. Just go with it. I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher. I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come. Yes, it is. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma.
Plasma's already a vapor-like kind of thing. You can't re-vaporize it. Can you?
Quiet, you're supposed to be an extra. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers because this is the end for you. Line. Never mind, I think that's scene. To the break room, everyone. I need my Moab fizzy tea.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take. Let's take 5.
Love is so itchy. There's no way a real pirate's wearing this.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Hey, listen, I appreciate what you tried there. We've got to review your footage before we make a final decision, though. Look, sometimes you just gotta wait for your break, you know? Here, take this for making the trip down here. Don't call us. We'll call you. Maybe we need more guns. Bigger guns, with gold plating. Marketing will love that. Maybe we need more guns.
Well, well. All of this with their Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele. You're too... Oh, sorry. I already said that.
Are we on cam?
Do you remember the... I see you haven't changed a bit, Steele. I had you surrounded. I've been... Yes, even you are powerless this time, Steele. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll act... Speechless, I see. It is a flawless plan. I hope you've paid your burial... You're not even taking this seriously. I refuse to work like this. I've done Aether Wave spots for Wentworth, I'll have you know. To the break room, everyone.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take. Let's take 5.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Hey, listen, Here, take this for making the trip down here.
Well, well. All of this with their... They are? What an...
Can I Doesn't matter. I want to shoot someone.
Do you remember... Hey, I had you. I've been... Yes, I have the... One...
Plasma's already...
Quiet. I hope you...
I thought this scene needed more action.
She's really shooting! Safety's off!
They got the drop off!
Someone calling the janitor auto mech. And you, Captain Baby, you were great. Let's take 5.
Whatever he offers you, ask for more.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. I knew you had chops, but that was something else. You found the energy in the scene and ran with it. That was visceral. Liked it. I fucking loved it. The lawyers are another story. But you let me worry about them. You just hang on to that energy. It'll take a few months to get your contract set up, but it'll be worth it. Here's your fee for today, but there's more to come. I'm thinking we can get at least 10, no, 12 sequels out of this, if we play the endorsements right. I'm thinking we can get at least 10, no, 12 sequels out of this, if we play the endorsements right.
Hey, we're on break. Quit playing with the intercom. I don't have to take this. I'm a junior associate director's assistant. I don't have to take this. I'm a junior associate director's assistant. I don't have to take this. I'm a junior associate director's assistant.
By consenting to an audition, you have granted Odeon Pictures all rights to use your likeness, voice, distinctive habits, and manner of dress in perpetuity. Thank you for your time. By consenting to an audition, you have granted Odeon Pictures all rights to use your likeness, voice, distinctive habits, and manner of dress in perpetuity. Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch
Don't
right
you
here.
think we ought to go inside?
I suppose. There's an outside possibility we'll run into Spencer Woolrich.
I don't know if I can handle a run-in with Mr. Woolrich. I'd just stand there, gawking and starstruck.
You would, wouldn't you? And then I'd be embarrassed by association with you. Maybe we should just stay outside.
You don't much like me, huh, Dr. Ellie? It's nothing personal. I'm just not the touchy-feely type. It's just, you seem fine with the others. Did I do something to make you unhappy with me? You gotta stop taking things so personal. You're setting yourself up for a letdown.
Nothing exciting ever happened around here.
I'll sue every technician and employee who's ever touched this damned device. Don't they know who?
Hey, that's company property.
I'll sue every technician and employee who's ever touched this damned device. Don't they know who I am? This is all so very beneath me. good old days when you could simply ask a menial for refreshment.
Done. You and your pen pal seem to be getting along. Don't make it small. When you say it like that, it sounds stupid.
Whoa, take it easy. Didn't realize you were so wrapped up.
You're doing it again. For me.
Miscreant, what do you think you're doing? Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
Hortense yells at me about vagrants one more time, I'm gonna snap.
Why do you think I've been avoiding the estate district?
Isn't that your peak?
Was. I sent Rajesh.
Remember that stranger I saw in the square?
Goodness! Look at those atrocious contours. The sheer brutality of its design offends the senses and shocks the mind into a state of palpable excitement. I adore it! One outfit left. Do hurry, my dear. The bird of inspiration is about to take flight. I can't wait.
What can I do for you?
I can't wait.
What can I...
I've always loved that sculpture.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our country.
Is it me, or could each of these homes fit all of Edgewater inside? Cannery and all?
Hold on.
Okay, gone quiet. There's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial grade cleaning solvent and desperation.
Marilyn, is that you?
Laws, we certainly didn't expect to see you like this.
And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. But we're all full of surprises today, aren't we? Speaking of surprises, you should meet my new friend. We've been running around the system for a while now, stirring up all sorts of trouble. There you go again, Captain. Always menacing polite society. Anyway, you're probably wondering where I've been all this time.
Not exactly.
The last few years have been a bloody haze. You wouldn't believe the messes we've gotten ourselves into. Right? Yep, we're a pair of disgraceful lowlifes.
Marilyn, this really isn't the best time. Perhaps you should go. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll drink your expensive hooch
wear our outside shoes all over your nice floors? Just a second. You had the floors redone with real Terran marble? Since when can you afford that?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but you must understand, we hadn't heard from you in ages.
We thought you were dead.
I'm not dead. I just never wanted to talk to you again.
I'm afraid the distinction was lost on us, darling.
We only did what any grieving parents in our position would do. We collected on your life insurance policy.
And the payouts have been rather, substantial.
You what? Well, now that I'm here, I guess you'll just have to report back that I'm very much alive and kicking.
It's not that simple. For one thing, we'd have to cut back on so many necessities. The neighbors would be sure to notice.
Why did you do that?
We had to explain your disappearance somehow.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd run off to become a miscreant, could we? Shh! Someone could hear you.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind, naturally.
That led to your tragic death when you tripped and broke your neck.
It was quite the story. People were talking about it for weeks.
Couldn't you have at least made up a better story? Something with pirates or raptidons? And what are you gonna do now that we're here?
Yes, about that. We were just about to ask you to, leave.
Quietly, if you don't mind. I'm afraid it would cause quite a stir if the neighbors saw you two stomping about.
That's it? You just want us to disappear now?
Marilyn, please.
Don't cause a scene.
Fine. I'm gone. Forever this time.
Let's just put this unpleasantness behind us. Let's just put this unpleasantness behind us.
Oh, could you please leave quietly now? Oh, could you please leave quietly now?
Let's talk outside. Captain, got a minute?
Can you believe those two? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out like yesterday's garbage. I thought they'd be scandalized. They'd both be sitting there watching one of their vapid aetherwave dramas, and then we'd walk in. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their overpriced marble. Father would tear off his glasses and blink open-mouthed. I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either, the leather's fake but the scars are real, or, oops, did I just track awesome onto your rug? Yeah, I'm gonna use that one day. Now, getting back to my story. Father would throw his hands up, because this would be just like me, to come back and make a big scene. Then, Mother would do the old, "You had us worried sick." Her eyes would be red, and she'd have her fist in front of her mouth to stifle a sob. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's embarrassing, you know. And I've got a reputation to maintain. I'm used to rough situations. Like when someone loads your pistol with blanks and strands you in a Marauder moonbase, or traps you in an airlock with an angry mantis worm. What can I say? I don't collect things, I collect experiences. Just can't think of a good use for this one. Unless you mean the kind who'll look out for you to blink so they could swipe your bits. The galaxy's not exactly crawling with those. Anyway, I don't want to sift through this lousy experience for meaningful life lessons. I'm mad, and I want to do something about it. Something like... Wait a second. What if I could get that money? I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. All the payouts would go to me. I'll make money without doing a thing. And I'll get to cut them off. As long as I don't develop a taste for Woolgonzola and bad legal dramas, that's fine by me. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. They have an office in Byzantium. Maybe you could use some of your people skills to help me set up a dummy beneficiary account. If that doesn't work, I'm sure we can find one of their terminals and do it ourselves. Something on your mind?
You think the Privy's gold-plated too? top-of-the-line equipment. Better than most hospitals, even.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do it with the same professional courtesy.
Hagen? I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen.
That's a gentlewomanly way of putting it, Captain. She's obsessed with aliens.
This is utter nonsense. I've never even been to Groundbreaker. What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks. Small consolation. My team, the finest minds of their generation, reduced to salvage. We were trying to prove that the colony could survive the crisis bearing down on us.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. It seems I have you to thank for my current house guests. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain. There are other teams. We didn't want to experiment on human test subjects, so we used the only resources we had. Each other. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
How'd you lose half a pair of ships like it were a sock?
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. The board also has its brand to uphold. If you can't trust the brand, what else is there? Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't give me a lot of hope.
You really think the board got our best interests at heart? I mean, they say, but I'm just not sure.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
I try not to, least when it comes to the moral dilemmas. Lilia Hagen's a useful ally to have, but I'll back you up either way.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
It seems like she's trying to help, Captain. Honest help. Ain't many in the colony doing that. We should let her try.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? If working with Wells is the only way I can save the colony, then I will damn well do it. I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. Wrong answer.
Their mistake.
I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project. I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project. What do you think you're doing? Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
I can take a hint.
Hey, that...
Got it. Inside voices.
I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project.
Did you hear? Marjorie Dalton and Archibald Harris are redecorating with real crystal faux windows.
Laws. Don't they know those went out of style 3 weeks ago?
So did their marriage, apparently. I'd wager my inverted bathtub she backs out of the contract first.
Hey! Stop that!
Did you hear? Marjorie Dalton and Archibald Harris are redecorating with real crystal faux windows.
Laws. Don't they know those went out of style 3 weeks ago?
You must be. Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her?
For the last time, access to Byzantium is impossible without a proper nav key. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to be somewhere else. Anywhere else. Move along.
How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
I don't reckon so. Maybe she's talking about me? I mean, I'm definitely the greasy one.
Well, whatever you call it, do it elsewhere, and take your merry band with you. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness. I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see. I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him. Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list. Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one else wanted purple, but he insisted. Everyone loves the purple ones. And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He said that one came to him in a dream. He was a true visionary, so far ahead of his time. I just told you. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned.
My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept. You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our society. Merit, decorum, personal hygiene. This city is meant for us, the system's finest. We earned its luxuries. But now we are overrun with the unworthy and the ungrateful, and this early retirement nonsense is making it even worse. The worst thing to happen to Halcyon, a contest that gives even the lowliest to most inefficient workers a chance to live in Byzantium. By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of Byzantium to themselves. No one else is even allowed to go there. Tell me, how is that fair? Oh, by the law. I mean the principle of it, not the mechanics. It's not right. I deserve to see any district I please. Why, if it weren't guarded, I'd... You know, you look like you've been shot at before. What say I hire you to investigate this travesty, and you get paid to do so?
She's got a point. We're probably gonna get shot at anyway. Might as well make a few bits.
Yes. Listen to your... What is that person's job exactly? Are they your secretary? Personal masseuse? Or do you just keep them around as a mobile armrest? Well, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you think this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled to lend me your services. Aren't you? Did you miss the part where I said I'd pay you? That's all the reason someone like you should require. Better than money? Let's see, there's... No. The thrill of discovery. Like in an Aetherwave adventure. People love those, right? Don't you want to see what the retirement district is like? Fantastic. Consider yourself employed, vagrant. I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad, but it's completely locked down. You'd never get in that way. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree, which you do. How fortunate for you. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. I don't care how you deal with security, just correct this injustice at all costs. The same way anyone gets anything here, of course. I made friends with the right people. Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but that means everyone here has little need for more of them. For favors like this, you need to spend... let's call it social capital.
Keep him quiet, Captain. Thanks, that's impressive.
I hear Monarch's jumped up dissidents are running the planet now.
What's this colony coming to?
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Minister Clark's a private man, and you're asking too many questions. There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Chasing us off already? This feels familiar.
Ma'am, please don't cause a scene.
I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake.
Do you have any actual business here, or...? There's nothing to see.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Welcome to the Musgrave Family Collection. Still a work in progress. If you're here for the annual Canid review, I'm afraid it's already over. Only thing going on behind those doors is good, old-fashioned lawful behavior. This greeting constitutes your confidentiality agreement. You hereby agree not to disclose the location or existence of these events. Thank you for cooperating. Exactly. You do catch on fast. Now then, how can I help you? We find that our clients enjoy the appearance of participating in illegal activities. Secrecy contributes to a feeling of indecency.
This kind of thing's pretty common. Bijou's used to do a prison-themed night. Served fish sticks with tartarus sauce.
Oh yeah. Prison-themed night was the best. Plus, they gave away limited edition designer handcuffs. The Musgrave Family Collection was intended to be a gallery of fine art. And here we are, using this place to practice semi-legal canid shows. Scandalous, isn't it? That's privileged information. I really shouldn't tell you. That's a fair point. All right, I'll tell you. But just keep this between us. The Musgraves own one of Earth's largest private collections of art and literature. They were going to have the entire collection shipped all the way to Halcyon. Unfortunately, that collection never arrived. We haven't heard anything from the delivery convoy, and there's some purely hypothetical concern that the collection might be, well... I was going to say indefinitely delayed by unforeseen and unknowable circumstances, but yes, let's go with that. Anyway, that's as much as I can tell you. Will there be anything else? Mr. Mostly is indeed attending our event, although I am disappointed to discover he did not officially enter his canid La Place into our competition. You should find Mr. Mostly just inside the prep room. Head inside and take the door to your left.
Oh, just hear me out. It's a brilliant idea.
Is this about canid hunting? We've been over this before. It's a terrible idea.
Canid hunting is the natural evolution of canid shows. No one's going to miss a few backwater laborers anyway. The excitement wears off rather quickly, don't you think? Think I would have preferred primals over canids, but there's always next year. I've heard stories of wild canids outside Byzantium, but frankly, I don't believe it. I'm just here for the Spectrum Violet. I'm just here for the Spectrum Violet.
I've heard stories of wild canids outside Byzantium, but frankly, I don't believe it.
Not now, please. I'm a little too busy, you know, being the master of ceremonies. Not now, please. I'm a little too busy, you know, being the master of ceremonies.
You have a rather... I hear monarchs jumped-up dissidents are running the planet.
You have a rather exotic presence. A
It's
new
not
Auntie
canid
Cleo's
hunting.
facial mask, perhaps? Or experimental pheromones?
Since when do you care about impropriety? Canid shows are unlawful, and you showed up anyway.
This is different. I just don't think we should be letting the lower class into Byzantium, even for fun.
You'd only be letting them into Byzantium temporarily. Long enough for the Canids to sniff them out and chase them around.
It's the principle of the matter. Everything belongs in its appropriate place, and laborers do not belong in Byzantium.
I just think you're being rather narrow-minded. A common laborer might enjoy the chance to see Byzantium. Granted, they'd be seeing Byzantium while running for their lives with Canids at their heels.
Bring the idea up in committee if you're so adamant. I just don't think they belong here.
Just between the two of us, I hope this doesn't become a tradition.
Not looking forward to the next annual Canid review?
Not looking forward to the canids. Odious things. I don't know why we let them prance around the city.
Welcome. This unit has been programmed to provide a selection of marginally subversive repartee. Now loading banter protocol. Indecency ratio set to 15%. Did you know that Orville Schuyler feeds his canids discount salt tuna? Scandalous. Indecency ratio set to maximum. Now loading banter protocol. Byzantium's glory days are over. Bits cannot purchase happiness. All pleasure is fleeting. No amount of inebriation will dull the pain of ennui. Warning. This unit's banter protocol has exceeded its maximum allowance of subversive language. Memory wipe initiated. This unit's banter protocol has been erased. Would you like to purchase a drink? Welcome. This unit has been... Did you know that Canid reviews in the premises of Byzantium are a violation of board protocol and may result in a fine of up to 400 bits? How subversive.
I've heard stories of wild canids outside Byzantium, but frankly, I don't believe it.
long did you say Musgrave was gone?
I didn't. Frankly, I don't know. A couple of years? More? He said he was off on some type of beautification treatment, which I can only assume is a euphemism. Do you know what I'd like to see?
Winston Forsythe and Clarence Mosley in a staring contest?
I was going to say a sequel to Terror on Monarch, but I like your idea better.
Oh, you don't have to be scared of these canids, Captain. I don't think they're gonna hurt you.
Come now, Anubis, you must perk up.
I'm just here for the Spectrum Violet.
I don't suppose you've any formal training in canid husbandry. I really am at my wit's end. It's my little Anubis, you see. He's listless and miserable. I simply don't know what to do about his condition. Oh, naturally. All our canids are named after the legends of the old pharaohs. Family tradition, you see. You must understand, Anubis is a very picky eater. He dines exclusively on Terra 2 Saltuna, none of that rubbish from Monarch. Unfortunately, we've had a bit of a shortage lately. He's so miserable without his Saltuna. Yes, I suppose you're right. I doubt all this excitement is doing any favors to his digestive system. I suppose I have been spoiling him with Saltuna. He could use a change of palate. Oh, I do have some limited edition Rizzo's CCN 76 chocolate bars. Really? I had no idea. I suppose I'll just treat him to some Spectrum Violet then. You've been a world of help. I'll leave a good word on your permanent record. I'll be sure to raise a glass of Rizzo's Spectrum Violet to your timely assistance. I'll be sure to raise a glass of Rizzo's Spectrum Violet to your timely assistance.
Think I would have preferred
I think I would have preferred primals over canids, but there's always next year.
Welcome. This unit has been... Greetings, attractive patron. You are looking downright unlawful today. Why not complement your disorderly behavior with a little drunkenness and purchase a beverage?
Hey, Maverick Johnston's newest star. I've got a question for you. Do you know the interesting thing about canid shows? Good instincts. Mathematically speaking, the interesting thing about canid shows is this. They're an exercise in futility. Winning is predetermined. Over time, the inevitable trend is that the race goes to the swift. Time and chance are just statistical outliers. In other words, if you put enough canids through enough trials, the one with the most optimal attributes generally wins. Exercise in futility. Oh, goodness, no. Not at all. I'm an actuary, you see. Well, not entirely. The actuarial sciences are more of a passion than a profession. So I suppose that makes me mostly an actuary. That's a bit of a family joke. I'm Clarence Mostly. Yes, that's us. Mostly oak trees, too. My grandfather invented them, you know. Well, no, he didn't invent mostly oaks, but he did purchase the naming rights back during the terraforming days. It's essentially the same thing. Oh. Then you're not here about my monograph. It's true, I was involved with Project Gorgon, but that chapter of my life is long since closed. Listen, I don't know what you want with Gorgon or with me, but let me give you some free advice, Let the past go. Live in the moment. Enjoy the party. Let me hazard a guess. You didn't listen then, and you're not about to listen now. Then I don't see the point in wasting a well-calculated argument on the virtues of self-preservation. Someone with resources. Security countermeasures require a special override. Whoever locked down the facilities must have been watching you. Lifting the lockdown won't be easy. You'll need to send overrides from the chem lab and human inquiry. I don't have that level of clearance, but I know two people who do. The trouble is, I don't know you. I don't trust you. I washed my hands of Gorgon, and you're asking me to dirty them all over again. I'm going to need a good reason. Yes, the birthplace of the Marauders. And a graveyard for all our mistakes. Starting Project Gorgon was our first mistake. Trying to bury Project Gorgon while it's still very much alive and clawing its way back to the surface, that may be our last mistake. Please, there's no need to insult me by implying I have a conscience. It's my reputation that concerns me. I want a favor from you. Do something for me, and I'll do something for you. That way, we don't have to rely on mutual trust. A grand prize trophy to the Canid Review. I want it in my hands. Get me that trophy, and I'll give you the remaining researchers. Names, locations, as much information as I have. My Canid, Laplace, is statistically superior to every other canid in this review. Better average sprinting time, superior gait coefficient, optimal anatomical symmetry. I didn't bother entering little Laplace in this pointless contest. He's already won on paper, you see. That trophy rightfully belongs to him. Oh, you're much too kind. Does this mean you'll do it? Head into the main hall and take the elevator down into the maintenance tunnels. You'll find a service passage that leads up into the trophy room. The maintenance tunnel is the only way up into the trophy room. Some technician barred the door shut on our end. Ask Tilda Coatsworth about it, over by the podium. What's on your mind? At the moment, nothing. I have a one-track mind. I can't stop thinking about that trophy. Why isn't it in my hands? When is it going to be in my hands? And so on and so forth. You get me that Best in Show trophy, and it'll clear my mind right up. My eye! I was wondering where I'd misplaced that old thing. It's perfectly preserved, you know. Every eye possesses unique dimensions, not unlike a fingerprint. The circumference, the shape, the color of the iris. An eye makes excellent proof of identification, assuming you don't mind removing one. I'd rather not get into the details. If Spacer's Choice ever asks you to test out their new model of monocle, just say no. Well, that's rather responsible of you. I'll put a good word in your permanent record. What's on your mind?
This is a private party. No solicitors, no vagabonds, no freelancers. If you're here to offer your services as an entertainer, we're not interested. I take that back. I almost want to hire you as an entertainer now. You could have dealt with hecklers during the shows. Unfortunately, you're too late. The review ended a few days ago. We've submitted our results to the Judiciary Committee and await arbitration. In 8 to 10 short weeks, we'll have the name of a winner. Probably. That gives us 8 to 10 weeks to file a maintenance request. Our technician barred the vault door and then disappeared without a trace. Can you believe that? The Musgrave Vault contracted a security consultant from UDL. They sent a technician to install a few security upgrades, anti-dissident auto-mechanicals and the like. That technician barred the vault, but neglected to leave us with a way in from here. He wasn't seen leaving the security room, so I can't imagine where he's gone off to. The tunnels are guarded by auto-mechanical security. I don't look nearly boorish enough to resemble a UDL guard, so they'd probably shoot me on sight. In any case, I'd rather not step foot in the tunnels. The tunnels are for disposing of unwanted refuse, and no place for a respectable Byzantine. Your eagerness to serve your betters is commendable. Here's a keycard. It should help you get around inside the tunnels. Now, was there anything else? I'd like to get back to mastering over the ceremonies, or people might question why I have this role at all. Can we make this quick? Or at least make it look like we're discussing illegal activities?
It ain't stealing if no one sees.
Real slick.
You got nimble fingers, Captain.
I've got a lot on my mind right now. Our trophy's gone missing, but I can't file an investigation because what we're doing here is technically illegal. Oh, don't look so cross. Those canids were put down mercifully. Not every canid is suited to the intense competition of our review. Some few canids display flaws that cannot be redeemed. A limp, wall eye, poor coloration. Mercifully. Anyway, listen. Nature is red in tooth and claw, and so are we. Competition is practically a law of the universe. I shouldn't have to explain this to you. Go and attend to your business then. Arguing with you is a waste of time. I'm not in the mood for an argument. I thought I'd made that clear. I'm not in the mood for an argument. I thought I'd made that clear.
Hey! Stop that! You're violating company policy!
You know, the careers of 9 out of 13 actors end after their debut serial. Enjoy the fame while it lasts. Dead canids in the service tunnels. Domesticated canids? Why, that's utterly revolting. Frankly, it doesn't matter to me if they were domesticated or feral. Feral canids are like the unemployed. Their existence implies the need for a loving master. Every canid, regardless of their physical attributes, is a companion to their master. To kill a companion is a profound and unforgivable breach of trust. I'm glad I chose not to participate in this loathsome canid review. I will, however, take their trophy. My trophy! Look at this thing. Have you ever seen a more garish monument to the boredom of the elite? If only Grandfather Mostly were alive today, I would have loved to wave this trophy right in front of his cataracts. I hope you won't take it personally when I say I had my doubts about you. Nothing ever gets done in Byzantium, you see. Competent work is, well, a statistical anomaly. Lifting the emergency lockdown requires overrides from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. Access to those facilities requires authorizations from 2 senior-level researchers, Marion Blakesley, Jasper Lowe. They went into hiding after the project collapsed, but I've managed to calculate their last known whereabouts within a reasonable margin of error. I see you're familiar with my technique. I'd love to show you my numbers, but there aren't nearly enough napkins in this room. After the project shut down, I had to keep my mind occupied. I worked on my actuarial tables, calculated the average lifespan of a Spacer's Choice worker, that sort of thing. I realized some of the researchers had to be alive. I ran some numbers, did a little research, and concluded that the 2 most likely survivors are Marion Blakesley and Jasper Lowe. Nonsense. I just needed a good old-fashioned statistical problem to busy my mind. Keeps the faculties lubricated. As far as I know, Jasper Lowe and Marion Blakesley are the only 2 surviving researchers with high-level clearance. If you want to lift the lockdown on the manufactory, you'll need to send an override from the Chem Lab and Human Inquiry. I'm afraid it's the only way. I know it feels like you're being led on. What is that colorful metaphor commoners use? A wild sprat chase? Remember, this is Spacer's Choice we're talking about. Their security protocols are just as inefficient and frustrating as their manufacturing. I'll tell you what I can. Dr. Marion Blakesley supervised the Human Inquiry and Auditing Facility. Live subjects, measuring tape and syringes, that sort of thing. Someone sabotaged the facility. Blakesley tendered her resignation and vanished. I'm reasonably certain she's hiding in a maintenance bay on Groundbreaker. Well, with Spacer's Choice equipment, who even knows? Dr. Blakesley tendered her resignation lawfully, but under suspicious circumstances. If you want to know more, you'd best ask her yourself. I'm asking you to trust in the predictive power of data. Dr. Blakesley may have disappeared after that sabotage incident, but the trajectory of her life was implied in her permanent record. Dr. Lowe described himself as a dazzling genius in his review. I disagreed. Of the 19 criteria that constitute the rubric of genius, Dr. Lowe only met 15. After the project shut down, corporate traded him off to Auntie Cleo in exchange for 5 lab coats. He's been transferred to an orbital lab around Olympus.
No, Captain. Lab coats, as in scientists.
Is your captain always this dense? How are you all still alive?
I live for risk.
Let's get back on topic. You'll find Dr. Lowe in an orbital lab around Olympus. Certainly. What's on your mind? Let's try to keep it down, shall we? At least pretend we're being discreet? There's not a lot about Project Gorgon I can tell you. I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I closed that chapter in my life. I've moved on. Look, don't tell anyone I said this. But if there's anything I've learned by living in Byzantium, it's this. If you go looking for the truth, you are looking for trouble. All right. Ask your questions. And then if you don't mind, don't mention Project Gorgon anywhere near me again. Minnie Ambrose. Oh, Olivia's brat. Ambitious, but like the rest of her family, irrelevant. She tried following her mother's example, failed, and if she ever tried again, I couldn't tell you. The name Ambrose doesn't mean anything to me anymore, or to anyone halfway respectable. The Ambroses are, how do I put this politely, obsolete? A family's name is only as strong as its enterprise. The Musgraves have Rizzos, and the Schuyler's have Auntie Cleo, and so we show those names the respect they deserve. The Ambrose name was associated with Project Gorgon. The project died, and so the Ambrose name died with it. That's just the way the game is played. Project Gorgon was designed to change the life of every worker on Halcyon. We weren't just building a product, we were trying to build a society. How many workers call Halcyon their home? What do they eat and when? How long do they sleep? How hard do they work? What are their most productive years? When do their organs begin to fail? That's the nature of my work. I study human life in order to determine its value. Jewelers appraise diamonds, and I appraise people. Of course you can. You can break the entire universe down into numbers and statistics. Human beings are as much a part of the universe as weather patterns and orbital mechanics. It's complicated. I'll be honest, I didn't join Project Gorgon because I wanted to satisfy my intellectual curiosity. I was courting the daughter of a Spacer's Choice family. We were a mathematically congruent match, you see. I had the proofs all written out and everything. I see you've been in the same situation. Yes, she wasn't impressed by my absolute value. After she made her feelings clear, I left the project. Everything. Every project has a margin of failure. We expect setbacks, complications, delays. Project Gorgon experienced a cascade failure. One mistake precipitated another, and another, and another. The labs failed to develop a safe drug. Human Inquiry failed to perform their tests responsibly. An unsafe drug tested on unhealthy subjects by irresponsible supervisors. That's Project Gorgon. Anarchy is not a crime. It is a symptom. The undisciplined workplace secretes anarchy the way our glands secrete enzymes. It's a principle of science. Sabotage came first. The chem lab, Human Inquiry, even my own office. Sabotage broke the discipline of our workplace, leading to confusion, leading to escaped subjects, leading to anarchy. I know. Project Gorgon was a failure of leadership. Leadership to which I belonged. I should have pushed for stricter supervision. We gave the other departments too much freedom and not enough oversight. Spare the rod, spoil the servant. No one appreciates the value of good data. The holistic surveillance device I wear is an invaluable tool, gathering data on all my day-to-day activities. My former colleagues can go into hiding and live in ignorance for all I care. I prefer the self-examined life. Never cared much for hors d'oeuvres. The word is just grotesque. All those superfluous letters ruin my appetite.
I'm not in the mood for an argument.
Thank you for participating in our confidentiality agreement. What can I do for you?
Okay.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here. Got your paperwork squared away?
there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her?
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about? Honest mistake. Why don't you come back another time and we can take this from the top? Yeah, and I'd really like a new Hammersmith grenade launcher. Hammersmith, the most trusted brand in brutality. But we can't all have what we want. And seeing as you don't seem the executive sort, you obviously don't belong in the Acropolis district. Hey, I've been trying to get a post at the HHC, but they keep turning me down on account of my odious interpersonal skills. Or something. Anyway, I've worked here long enough to know every clerk by name and face. And since I don't know yours, you ain't getting through. You're new to the ministry? You one of those lab coats they promoted from a company town? That was yours? Wow. You earned that promotion, all right. So you start tomorrow, huh? You know, they should have set you up with an ID 6 to 8 weeks ago. You do that. Yeah, all right. You're good to go. You can pass. Go on through. You can pass. Go on through.
Hold it right there!
You can pass. Go on through. You can pass. Go on through.
Move along. I never could have handled the desk job.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk. Not without signing a waiver. Sorry, I shouldn't talk.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk. Not without signing a waiver.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk. Not without signing a waiver.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk. Not without signing a waiver.
You ever get the urge to just hawk one on the floor?
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals. If you'd like to make an appointment, please request an application form. If you'd like to request an application form, please make an appointment. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals. I'm sorry, but I've already exceeded my friendly banter quota. If you'd like to make an appointment, please request an application form.
I
If
have to
you'd
go
like to
through 3
request an
checkpoints just
application
to take a
form,
bathroom break.
please make an appointment.
Can't be too careful. Dissidents like Phineas Wells will stop at nothing to ruin this colony.
But couldn't they concentrate the security outside the building so we can get some work done?
Why are you so bothered by having a few guards around? I think I'm gonna have to speak to your supervisor about these dissonant leanings of yours.
Wait, that's not what I meant. I hear Minister Clark's moving his office into his residence. Poor man does nothing but work.
Always.
I hear Minister Clark's moving his office.
I hear Minister Clark's moving his office. Most of the day-to-day business goes through the adjutant, Sophia Conde. She handles matters while the chairman's away. Chairman Rockwell's working on some exciting new plans for the colony. Chairman Rockwell, most of the day. I hear Minister Clark's moving his office into his residence. Poor man does nothing but work.
Please step away. This entry is for high-priority HHC business only. If you're not clear to know, then I'm definitely not clear to tell you. Please step away.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Always plenty of filing to be done.
Chairman Rockwell is working on some exciting new plans for the colony.
A UDL secure.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
State your business. Please step away.
All right, how does this sound? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk into you like that.
I tell you what, we'll change the front.
A fine day for parcel pickups, isn't it? How may I be of assistance? We do, in fact, have a parcel here for a Mr. Clark, Minister. You're not an official member of the Halcyon Parcel Service Team. That means you'll have to sign a release form. Oh, I'd have to submit a request for a release form, and then wait for a receipt for my request of a release form. Then you'd have to make an appointment. Couldn't say. We've got a backlog, and I'm planning on retiring in the next 35 years, but I could give my successor a memo on your behalf. You're welcome to lodge a complaint in our suggestion box. Actually, no. We're still waiting on our delivery of a new suggestion box. You do that? Wow. Hey, you know, a positive review from the minister would go a long way in my semi-monthly employment audit. Here's your parcel to be delivered to Mr. Clark, Minister. Law speed. How may I be of...
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
You, sir, are a fabulous negotiator.
Oh, don't get me started, my dear fellow. You are most certainly the master of this